This video will cover installing a Detroit Speed Wonder Bar and Sway Bar on a 3rd generation Camaro or Firebird. A Wonder Bar, also known as a steering brace, is a necessary modification as it keeps cracks from forming at the subframe. The first step is to remove the old Sway Bar and Wonder Bar. Your car may not have a Wonder Bar from the factory. Put your car up on jack stands and remove the front tires. Remove the sway bar links. Loosen and remove the 2 idler arm bolts. To gain access to the steering box bolts, remove this body bracket, then use a jack to support the bottom of the steering box. Remove the 3 steering box bolts. Then remove the sway bar brackets from the frame. Take the steering shaft off the steering box. Wiggle the steering box to gain access to the bolts behind it. Remove the sway bar bracket. Check for any subframe cracks. 3rd gens are notorious for developing cracks here, as most cars did not come stock with a Wonder Bar. If you do find some stress cracks, you will need to fix them before proceeding. Typically, a welder and a grinder does the trick. Push the Wonder Bar into place, and then use the supplied bolts to fasten it in. There are 2 bolts behind the steering box that are a little bit tricky to reach. Each bolt is torqued to 35 pound-feet, and Loctite is always recommended. Wiggle the steering box back into place and install the 3 long bolts. Torque them to 80 pound-feet. Install the idler arm with the 2 supplied bolts. Snug the bolts up, but do not torque them. The next step is to align the steering center link. Measure from a flat surface to the middle of the inner tie rod bolts. Both sides should be equal within 1/16 of an inch. Failing to set up the center link correctly will result in a poor steering feel. Reinstall the steering shaft and bolt. Torque the idler arm bolts to 65 pound-feet, and then double check the center link height. Grease up the bushings and place them on the new sway bar. Push the new sway bar into place and install the 4 bushing bolts. Torque the bolts to 25 pound-feet. Install the previously removed bracket. Since my car is lowered, I have to trim a little bit off the end links to keep them perpendicular to the A-arm. Install the tire and lower the car to the ground. I like how the Wonder Bar integrates everything together. It really stiffens up the front end. Please leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram.